Just one or two more breaths with this. And then when you're ready, now begin to come back up. Okay, and then we're going to come onto our feet, which is a bit of a rarity, you know. We're going to come onto our feet so that we can do a dangling pose. And the dangling pose is, everybody experiences it in a different way. So I'm going to give you a few versions of doing this. It's like getting some flexion into the back. But we kind of stand with the feet slightly open. The easiest way to do it is to just come down and rest your elbows on your knees like this, and you get this mild flexion with no stretch on the hamstrings. Okay, so you can pause here for a little while. It's usually quite reasonable on your back. If you can come into the full dangle, it means you've got to sort of come down, let go of the knees, and maybe fold your arms. Just let your body hang in this position, and then you can really feel that you're getting that quite a profound stretch on the lower back area. Now, if that's too much, you know, I'd still suggest you keep the knees bent, maybe place the hands on the mat, and that will take some of the weight off the back and keep it in the legs a bit more. Or, as I say, bring the elbows back onto your knees like this, and then just, this is like half the pose. Or you can do a combination of each. So we'll try for a few minutes on this. And as I say, if you can manage the dangling bit, then go for it. If it feels okay, your back's fine, you know, so that's okay. Or you may just want to stay there for a minute or so, or you know, a couple of minutes, and then come back up into an easier version. So just experiment a little bit with this, making sure that your back feels okay. So the time frame for this is 2 minutes anyway, so we're not going to be here for too long. Good. Okay, so I'm going to want to step back into a downward facing dog just for a short spell to allow the legs to stretch, because the next posture is going to be a squatting pose. So we'll let the legs lengthen out first as a counter posture to that dangling posture, just to let the legs kind of normalize a little bit. Okay, just for a few breaths. Maybe paddling the feet will be okay, you know, lifting the heels up and down, and just keeping a little bit of gentle movement in the legs, not too much. I'm going to keep things nice and quiet for the yin. But small movements, all right. So we're going to come into a squat now. And this squat, if you've got something like a block handy, then that's okay. You don't really need a block because we're going to be on the toes. If you can flatten your feet out, that's great. You can do that. Just sort of get yourself in the middle of the knees like this. If you get the feet flat, that's fantastic if you can do it. But if you must bring your toes beyond the toes, use your hands to stabilize yourself. And sometimes I use a block just to sit on the block, and that just takes some of the weight of the body. So again, it's only a couple of minutes on this. Just breathing probably into the lower back. Good. Okay, great. So we're going to carefully come out of this and step back into down dog again. Once again, just to get some weight in the legs. Maybe again, paddling the feet. Now, I know squatting is quite powerful for the hips, but if you can get past that, it's really good for the legs. You get some really good toning and for the lower back. So it's one to cultivate, really. Good to work with it. Very good. All right, so I'm going to come into a sleeping swan next. So I'm going to bring this right knee down towards the right hand here. Long left leg. And then immediately sort of coming right down to the mat. Just draping over that forward leg. Just stay on the forearms if that feels better for your hip. And the leg and the knee. Keeping your toes pointing backwards is best for your knee. That's a safer position. But if you know this posture okay, then you may want to bring the foot across a little bit, forward leg, just to bring some rotation into the knee, but just be mindful of that. So just compromising it a little bit, and then let the upper body come down, maybe onto the, head and shoulders coming down, maybe your head on the back of your hand, something like that, or on the mat. And then once you're in position, just get nice and stable, and then reconnect with your breathing again. Breathing probably. Well, conventionally, you would breathe into the forward hip on this one.
That's the area where we're putting some squeeze. Try and relax if you can, let the muscles go. So there's the time for that one, okay, 5 minutes. So we're going to move on to the other side. First, just come up into down dog again, just to stretch that right leg, just for a short spell. Okay, and then we can bring that, and come down to all fours. So do it that way. I'll just bring that left knee to the left hand, the wrist, and then lengthen the right leg behind it. Get nice and stable on the legs, and then bring the upper body down. Again, getting comfortable. Move your arms into the right place to get stable. You can even prop something under that forward leg, if that's appropriate or it feels okay. And then, of course, always remember to bring in the breath. Try and get your mind out of your head into your body and be aware of the feelings, sensations as you're breathing either into the left hip or wherever you're directing your breath.
Okay, there's the time again. So pushing back. Again, it's a down dog one more time. Good. Okay, and then coming down. And then we're going to come to sitting so we can do a reclining bound angle. Okay, for a few minutes. So it's a reclining position, so we have to come onto the back. Bring the soles of the feet together. And then just see how the hips behave in this posture. It's meant to be a stretch for the inner leg, but also the lower back as well, because of the rotation in the hips. That's kind of a knock-on effect with the lower back. So you may want to you want to keep the legs in this position, slide the hands in maybe underneath the hips with the palms down, so you've got that little wedges, and that can take a little bit of the weight off the legs and the hips. Or press your elbows in and just push your body down towards your feet without moving the feet. Leave the feet in place, just move your body down. And sometimes that makes this posture a little bit better or more comfortable. Or you can do both. You can still place the hands under the body, just wedge them into the buttocks like that. That'll give you a bit of support in the upper feet, you know, the bones of the upper leg and the hips. And then just relax. Yeah, that's it. If you don't need your hands under the hips, by the way, you can always take them out to about 2/4 outwards, so that you get this very full open chesty position as well. And then just breathe into the heart center.
Last couple of breaths. So from here, we're going to just help the legs in. So just bring the legs together, or the knees together, and then draw the knees back into a fold. Getting a good hold onto the knees, either with your hands or with your lacing the fingers across your knees, and then just keep this position. Let the hips relax now. Really relax the legs, the hips, and the pelvis just for a few moments. Okay, that's good enough. All right, so we can let go, bring the feet down, and then we're going to come all the way over, so come onto the front to do a split pose. All the way onto the front. Just take as much time as you like to get there. No rush. And when you're ready, just getting comfortable on the forearms, yeah, and elbows roughly under the shoulders, or move your arms forward. See how your back feels really this one, and then keep the feet a little bit open. Okay, so just before we move away from this position, just coming into seal, okay, just for a short spell. So that means I'm going to keep the forearms like this, just take down to the edges of the mat, and then push up carefully, watching the back here, and then
The idea with this, remember, we've done it a few times recently, so just try and relax the lower back. So just take all the pressure on your arms and at the torso, really relax on the lower back, particularly in the legs as well. Not an easy task. You've got to get the body seems to want to hold on to things. Your torso wants to kind of hold on like armor. Just see if you can let it relax. Just a few more breaths. Good enough. All right. So carefully coming down into Makrasana, just for a little counter pose breather, just to relax the back and the upper body. Still let everything go, a bit like Shavasana. Keep everything relaxed and easy breathing for a few moments. Okay, good enough. So we can come back up. Just going to do a couple of little dragging positions, one on the right, one on the left, and then coming into a twist. So I'm going to bring the right foot forward like this from a kneeling position, and just bring the hands onto the inside of that forward foot. And the back knee can stay down if you prefer it that way, or if you can take it off, then that's great. We can do that. We're going to have about a minute on each side, something like that. Good enough. Okay, so we can change sides. Just going to drop that knee and then come forward to the left foot. Long right leg behind you on the toes, or bring the knee down if you prefer that knee down at the back. Again, about a minute.
Good, there we go. So we're going to come down. And then come into a sitting position so we can do a twist, a seated spinal twist. And you can use a block if you've got one. We don't really need one particularly, but we're just going to come into any comfortable sitting position. So it can be cross-legged or kneeling up, or any version of cross-legged, whatever's okay for you. And just getting nice and stable with the base. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And then just get the back nice and straight, nice feeling of straightness away from the pelvis. And when you're ready, we're just going to rotate around to the right, just using your hands just to stabilize yourself. Okay, one hand behind your hip, just right one, and then left hand either on the mat or on your right leg. Just have a couple of minutes on each side. Breathing into the twist. Okay, so now we're going to gently move to the other side. So just turning to the left. And remember, just get stable and then maintain that straightness with the back. Breathing again into the twist. Good. Okay, and then unwinding carefully when you're ready. And just carefully bring the knees together so that we can come into a garland, just for a brief spell.
holding the knees with your hands or wrapping your arms around. And then keep the back long. Few breaths. Okay, that's great. So we're going to go onto the back, and it's got time to do a happy baby pose before we come to Shavasana. Right? So now we draw the legs back for this, and you can hold onto the feet for happy baby, or put the wrists around the knees, whichever you feel is right. Now, sometimes I listen, hold onto the hands, and then just hold this. Try to relax the core a bit if you can when you're in this one. Okay. We're just going to have a short spell here, a few breaths, and then we'll come into Shavasana to finish. Okay, so when you're ready, we can come down with the feet, and then just make your way to Shavasana. When you're ready, you can do a bit of windscreen wipers if you like for a moment. But eventually coming into Shavasana just for these last minutes, just to relax and release everything to the floor again. So just to remind you, you may wish to rekindle that intention that you had at the beginning, just in the same way.